Hello, friendos and bendos. It's me, Z, and I have a confession to make. I'm a DC gal. Always have been, always will be. I've read 10 times the books, grew up on all the shows. I really never have to think when I'm asked which universe I prefer. I always choose DC. But that's not to say I don't like Marvel. Quite the opposite. I really enjoy it. Spider Man and She Hulk are in my top 10 superheroes, and I've read tons of their comics as well as others. But Marvel's world has just never interested me as much as DC's, which is why it's shocking that the books I look forward to the most when it comes to new issues aren't DC titles these days. The books I'm constantly reading day one are the books from Marvel's new Ultimate Universe, which I simply adore. The Ultimates, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Ultimate X-Men are absolute joys to read, and there are several reasons as to why I think you should be reading them if you aren't already. But first, you may be wondering, Part 1. What is the Ultimate Universe? Okay, so let's start off with the fact that this is actually Marvel's second attempt at an Ultimate Universe. It first started with Ultimate Spider Man by Brian Michael Bendis in 2000, which was an alternate universe comic that was being published alongside the main Spider Man comic. It told a new origin for Peter Parker and was meant to be a more modern interpretation with its concepts and characters. Ultimate Spider Man was also really damn good, and because of its immense success, more and more comics came out that were also set in this now dubbed Ultimate Universe, including Ultimate X Men, Ultimate Fantastic Four, and the Ultimates. This universe's version of the Avengers, who are also gigantic piece of shit assholes. The Ultimate Universe continued to be pretty successful until one particular event Ultimatum. Now, comics are no stranger to book-wide events that change the status quo of the universe, but Ultimatum was just something else. It's one of those comic book storylines that is universally hated and reviled, and for good reason. Ultimatum sees Magneto attempt to destroy humanity, and in doing so, he kills millions upon millions of people, including like half of the heroes. Heroes that were built up and known and loved by the readers were killed off unceremoniously and instantly for seemingly no reason other than shock value. And this book was full of shock value. The now infamous panel of the Blob eating the wasp like he's Kronos is etched into my brain. I will never be able to get rid of that shit. Needless to say, this spelt the doom of the Ultimate Universe, with tons of people disappointed in the direction it was going in. The Ultimate Universe did continue after the event, but interest was gone in an instant, and in 2015, it kind of went out in a whimper with Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars event. To make a long story short, the multiverse gets destroyed and Doctor Doom creates a new universe which fucking sucks. So everyone kicks his ass and creates an even newer universe and multiverse. Of course, not everything is the same, and the Ultimate Universe is completely erased, with the only survivors being Miles Morales, his friends and family, and the Maker, Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe, who is also evil. They all just get plopped into the main Marvel Universe without that much fanfare. That's the essentials of the first Ultimate Universe, a fun and interesting initiative that ran into issues that culminated in a big fuck up that led to Marvel scrapping it. However, even with the Ultimate Universe's failure, there's no denying how successful it was at the beginning. A new universe with separate continuity and modern sensibilities, with different yet familiar characters, was perfect for literally every consumer. New fans got to hop onto books without having to be confused by decades of stories. Old fans who disliked the main universe had a chance to jump ship to a new one, and old fans who liked the main universe could still read their books because it wasn't a reboot, and, if they were interested, they would also check out this new one as well. It's no surprise that Marvel would again attempt it. Honestly, I think the whole Ultimate Universe idea is going to constantly be done over and over again. I mean, even DC is doing it now with the Absolute Universe, set to come out a few months after this video is posted. But even with the idea itself being amazing, that still doesn't truly explain why I love this new Ultimate Universe, more than anything Marvel has published in years. It's so much more than a new continuity to hop into. So, Part 2. What is the new Ultimate Universe? Now, the new Ultimate Universe actually has an in-world explanation for its existence. While the old one of Earth 1610 was just a new universe, the current Ultimate Universe of Earth 6160 has been shaped. The Maker? Remember him? He is the evil Reed Richards from the OG Ultimate Universe? Yeah, well, he decided he was gonna go to a new universe and make it how he wants it. how he wants it being a world where most superheroes don't exist, and where he's the ruler of the world because he's evil. He's the evil version of Reed Richards. I already told you this. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. He goes to Earth 6160, meddles in world politics, prevents the origin stories of several superheroes, or even outright murders them, and rises to the throne of a new world order. Now everything's different. Instead of the US and Canada, we have the North American Union and regional subsidiaries. Australia, India, Southeast Asia? I think you mean the Children of the Immortal Hand. Roxxon has destroyed the Savage Land, Cats in Britain is now French, and everything has gone to shit. The world is not like how we know it today. I love this. I love how this new universe has separated itself from both the main universe and the old Ultimate one. While the old Ultimate Universe was, what if Marvel characters were made with 2000 sensibilities? The new Ultimate Universe is a true alternate history tale that's similar in some ways and incredibly different in others. It's something so brand new and exciting, but also terrifying, because this is a vision of humanity we don't truly know. Now, some of you may be asking, wait, if the maker stopped all the superheroes from existing, then how come there's a new Ultimate Spider-Man, and an Ultimate X-Men, and so on? Well, you see, part 2.5, the maker kept Tony Stark and Reed Richards alive. Yeah, he killed Sue, Johnny, and Ben, but kept Reed alive. And since Tony is much younger in this universe and is Iron Lad instead of Iron Man, who is his dad, he also kept him alive. And this was obviously stupid as shit, because these are the smartest people on Earth, and they don't particularly like fascist shadow governments. Tony and new Reed, who's Doctor Doom since he never becomes Mr. Fantastic, team up with Thor and Sif to get the data about the superhero origin stories the Maker prevented, getting framed by the Maker's goons as terrorists who destroyed a chunk of New York in the process. They then use their time machine to do things like send the radioactive spider back in time to Peter Parker, and the reason they send these things back in time is because they expect to walk out of the room from where their time machine is to a whole host of new superheroes ready to help them fight the Maker. Do they succeed? Fuck no. Part 3, I love the Ultimates. I was expecting Ultimate Spider-Man to be my favorite of the new books, but it ended up being the Ultimates, and I was pleasantly surprised. We're so used to the Avengers being this high-profile team, with access to tons of resources and public support, and the new Ultimates are anything but that. People hate them and view them as terrorists. They have so many less resources. These guys are freedom fighters, looking to fix a broken world. And to see their struggles and successes makes for very enjoyable stories, even with just a prologue book and 2 issues out. The whole series seems to be about opportunity, stolen by people who only care about themselves. Steve Rogers is a standout character right now for me, because America doesn't exist anymore. Not just literally, but also the ideals he stood for. In issue 2, the Ultimates invade the White House to save America Chavez, who's being used as a human battery. In the White House, they meet Midas, who in one single issue became a favorite villain of mine, after sitting with his feet up in the Oval Office, greeting the heroes like he's Eisen.
ようこそ私のソウルソサエティへ
He and Cap fight over the values of America, with Midas saying that America and human society as a whole only exists for one thing: money. This guy is a capitalist freak, and to see him and Cap fight for their ideals and see Cap kick his ass is honestly amazing. We also see these scenes of Steve learning about the new history of the world after the Maker took over, essentially making him our reader's standing character, since he's just as unused to this world as we are, which is really cool. Part 4. Ultimate Spider-Man, baby! Never getting his spider powers, Peter grows up with a completely normal life. Uncle Ben doesn't die, he marries MJ and they have 2 kids. He's one of the average people in this world that's super strange and dystopian to us readers, who know what's going on behind the scenes, but to him, it's just reality. Until he gets that package from Tony Stark. The package that tells him he's been framed for the terrorist attack that recently killed his Aunt May, and the real people behind the attack also stole something from him. A power that he could have used to change the world. Inside the package is a radioactive spider, and a costume, and after a long time of speculation, Peter lets it bite him, knowing deep in his heart that he's been missing an element of his life. He becomes the ultimate Spider-Man, and begins to fight crime. Teaming up with this universe's Harry Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, whose dad was also killed in the terror attack blamed on Tony, and who wants to learn more too. They just recently fought the Kingpin as the first arc came to a close, and I'm thrilled to see where the story goes from here because the Ultimate Universe's Sinister Six is being teased, and I cannot wait. This is the mature Spidey story we've been waiting for. The one where he's allowed to grow and live a happy life, while still being the hero we know and love. 616 Peter, take notes. Part 5. Ultimate X-Men is also surprisingly good. This is probably going to get me crucified, but I don't really like the X-Men. They just have never interested me, and maybe that's why I really like Ultimate X-Men, because it's so unlike other X-Men stuff. Instead of Professor McBaldi and his school for gifted losers, the X-Men are instead a group of Japanese schoolgirls, which was all I needed to start reading it. And oh my god, this shit is so good. Like, it's for the lowest common denominator, but I'm not ashamed to admit that's what I am. Not much has happened yet, but the art by Peach Momoko is great. The characters are so cute, and there's this very interesting mystery about mutants and the suicide of the main character's friend, as well as this weird shadowy figure that's looming in the background. All of this intrigue, as well as the comfiness, makes me want to keep coming back, and I do. Lots of people are criticizing how slow the story's going right now, but I'm honestly thinking that's a positive, because I know it's gonna ramp up. And when it ramps up, I'm gonna really enjoy that it kept its downtime and character building that Cape Comics don't normally get. Oh, and I know I mentioned how good the art is, but I need to do it again. Oh my god, the art is so damn good. This is one of the prettiest Cape books on the shelves right now. All in all, What If X-Men with Sailor Moon is peak. 10 out of 10. I have no qualms. Part 6. Ultimate Black Panther. I've read all the issues, and it's okay. I just don't really like Black Panther, even more than the X-Men. Conclusion. Overall, the Ultimate Universe as an idea is just genius, and the way they've been handling the characters and world building this time around has made every release so exciting. I'm really looking forward to what comes next, and I'm also really looking forward to Absolute DC, which I hope revitalizes DC for non-DC fans, as this new Ultimate Universe did for me with Marvel. Anyway, that's been it for me, friendos and bendos. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow my Twitter, and if I don't upload for a little while, it's probably because I'm reading tons and tons of books and watching tons and tons of movies so that I can make videos in the near future because I have lots of projects planned. Anyway, that's been it for me, Z, and I'll see you next time.